Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Lone Star Community Radio is ready for the summer. If you or anyone you know is looking for a summer internship, Lone Star Community Radio is a great place to learn the radio and TV business. Contact the station at info@irlonestar.com or call the station's message line at 936-647-3776. Lone Star Community Radio offers a great opportunity to those interested in learning about the radio world.
Hey, this is Jamie from Green River Ordnance. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Something inside of me told me this would be my day. I heard the morning train, I felt the wind change. Too many times I'm on my way. Come on, sunshine, what can you show me?
All right. Good morning. You're listening to hey.
Good thing we're not live. Let's
good thing.
Take two.
Take two. Good thing you're listening to Morning's Lone Star, that is. irlonestar.com. And we're broadcasting live from the downtown Conroe radio studios. And our LSA, I guess the Lone Star downtown Conroe studios, right? And we're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, all that good stuff. Look us up at irlonestar.com/MWLS. And today's going to be a great show. We're excited. We're going to have some folks coming in talking about a neat thing going on at Conroe ISD called Project Mentor. And you can find more info on our Facebook and all that kind of stuff. We're going to have Keith Kruger from Branding Iron to come in and talk about a neat program that he's been involved with, I want to say, for almost a decade?
Really?
Something like that. Where, from what I understand about the program called Project Mentor here at Conroe ISD, is they get paired with a student who doesn't have somebody eat lunch with. And so, or more like a big brother kind of situation. So they dedicate their time, volunteers do, to spend a lunch period with their chosen student. And they spend time with them all the way through high school.
Nice.
So
nice.
I know Keith has probably known a student or two for all their, probably kindergarten through high school. Isn't that pretty crazy?
That is cool. I can't wait to meet him.
I might be putting words in that.
Cool. I can't wait to meet him, hear all about it.
But so welcome. Mornings at Lone Star, having a good time. Don't feel free to comment on our live video feeds. So if you want to do that, we're paying attention to them. I do want to say we are pretty much out of the Waterway Arts Festival tickets. So folks who wanted those last week, they got them. So
dude.
They're out. And so just to give another shout out, sorry to say we can't give away tickets, but the Waterway Arts Festival is this weekend, folks, from the 13th through the 14th. And it's Saturday, Sunday from 10 to 6 on Saturday. Sunday's 10 to 5. There's a gate price, so sorry you didn't win those tickets, but there you go. Sorry about that, guys.
Snooze, you lose.
So what have you been up to, Sean? I know we haven't seen each other for quite some time.
It's been a few days now.
Yeah.
Trying to get some work done, taking care of some family business, getting Happy Days rehearsed, and ready for an opening.
That's the second weekend in May.
Yep, May the 10th.
So get your tickets now. Reserve seating, of course, so you can figure out what's the best angle. There's really not a bad angle in that.
No, you want to avoid the far sides if at all possible. But
I mean, you get it. I mean, you don't have to look at this thing; you can just hear it. Because
actually, this is something you can. This is something you could actually close your eyes, and it would sound like a radio version of a Happy Days musical episode.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's kind of fun. I think that's the whole idea about I was thinking about this the other day because Happy Days to me doesn't seem like the typical Shakespearean stage performance where everything is crucial. Everything has a point. Every inch has to be blocked. All that kind of stuff. When I say blocked, I mean you're literally there with your director.
Yeah, there's
spear
some points when you have to block a fight scene or just a scene down to the the inch. You know, you have to stop here because this happens otherwise. Now, when it comes to choreography, yeah, you got that here too with Happy Days.
You know what?
The dancing has to be
do me a favor.
Pretty good.
Talk about it for like 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to go check the AC thing.
Okay, so those of you who may not know or haven't been in our studios lately, ever since they fixed, and if you see me on video, I'm using finger quotes for fixed, the air conditioning, they broke it. It doesn't blow in here at all, and not like it needs a Freon charge or new air filter. No, it just doesn't blow at all. And if you get motion sick like me, you know that I'm the kind of guy that needs to have air blowing on your face. So we're trying to get this thing fixed. So especially with our guest coming in starting at 10 o'clock, we got Keith and Angela talking about Project Mentor. But anyhow, I'm going to talk about Happy Days real quick, and Dick's away from the microphone, so he can't stop me. That's right. The Happy Days opens May 10th, runs to the 24th. Great cast, great choreography. You can see a whole bunch of different dance styles.
He's not lying. he can't lie about something you don't really know about.
This is true. This is true. But we got the characters. All the major characters are represented. You know, Pinky Tuscadero and the Fonz and Richie and Potsy and Ralph and the Cunninghams and Joni and Chachi.
Is Happy Days available streaming or anywhere? Like, can you watch it?
You can see some stuff on YouTube.
So YouTube, that's the place to go.
There are some episodes on YouTube.
Okay, because somebody brought up the movie came out recently this year was with I just went blank. John C. Reilly and something Coogan, and it was called
Steve Coogan.
Steve Coogan. It's called like Ollie and something. And let me look it up real quick.
Stan and Ollie.
Might have been
about Laurel and Hardy.
Yes. So yeah, Stan and Ollie, and it's about those actors, and they're probably one of the first famous actors.
Mm-hmm.
And someone basically said if they released this movie 20 years ago, it would have been a hit. Because no one knows who these people are who go to the theater besides like a very small amount of people.
Right.
And it got me thinking about Happy Days because I was like, you know, I mean, I'm sure my parents know Happy Days. What generation was Happy Days?
It ran in the 70s and it looked back on the 50s.
Okay.
So it had its heyday around the 90s because we tend to look back about 20 years.
20 years,
when we want to feel good about stuff or nostalgic. So in the 90s, that's when it got its resurgence, especially on probably channels like
Well, that's why everyone's upset about that Allison Mack woman, because I know a lot of people my age like the Superman show. What was it called?
Lois and Clark?
No, the one after that.
Superman?
Yeah.
Superboy?
Was it called Superman? Smallville.
Smallville.
You know what I'm talking about? The Allison Mack woman, who the actress who's in that
she got
sex
into
cult?
the sex cult, right?
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh, man, my childhood dreams. I wish I was in that cult. No,
You're right.
But no,
you say sex cult like it's a bad thing.
So 20 years ago, that's who we pay attention to.
Right. Now, with us, it's set in 1959, which means that we're setting it 60 years after the fact. So that's 3 generations, you know, a 20-year thing. So there's actually some people, we're getting some good responses from audiences about this, looking forward to it. And it is kind of timeless. You know, there are some shows that just...
Well, like,
we all know Star Trek.
If you asked me who's Stan and Ollie, I'd be like, man.
But if I said Laurel and Hardy,
no.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know Laurel and Hardy?
No, the only person I knew around that time, I would say, is I just went blank again. The guy
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin's the only one.
W.C. Fields.
Don't know who that is.
Mary Pickford. Nope. Shirley Temple.
I know Shirley Temple.
Okay, Shirley Temple Black now ambassador. Yeah, that was Fairbanks, Douglas Fairbanks, Sr. and Jr.
No. But that's why they're saying that movie did so poorly.
The Three Stooges.
So I'm not saying your show's going to do poorly.
The Marx Brothers.
I think the people who go to the own theater are perfect and ripe for the Happy Days era.
The fun thing about it, one of the reasons I love...
And everyone likes the Fonz.
Everyone likes the Fonz. But one of the many reasons I'm enjoying the heck out of directing this is the same thing with when I direct Shakespeare to young people.
Yeah.
A lot of them, it's their first exposure. And, you know, Shakespeare scares people because they don't know it. They just see all the words on the paper and they freak out. And as I try to tell them, listen, you can't
also,
judge...
Shakespeare sucks, so...
Oh, my goodness. I was going to buy you tacos.
I was kidding.
But, you know, no. You can't unring that bell.
No. Well, did you really want to take my opinion about Shakespeare?
I'm going to win you over is what I'm going to do.
I like it. It's all right.
Okay. But same thing with Happy Days. These kids have no idea about
Is there
the 50s or the 70s.
Can we put Transformers in Shakespeare?
Yeah. With Shakespeare, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's just what the audience wants it. Everyone wants to turn Romeo and Juliet into the Hatfields and the McCoys or the Democrats versus the Republicans. I mean, and that's late. Okay, it's been done many times before.
I'm trying to think. How can we like really get you upset about it?
Oh, I'll tell you what'll get me upset about
Yeah,
it.
well, we'll get upset. Yeah, upset.
So on my DVR, it had been one of those movie free pass. You know, you get like the week of movies.
Oh yeah, like on HBO or
Like
something.
HBO.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll rip through and I'll just hit record on anything that looks vaguely good. Well, I saw that there was a version of Romeo and Juliet that had been done in about 2013 that I hadn't heard about.
What's it called? Tristan Isidel?
Well, it's Tristan and Isolde, but no, it was
Isolde?
but no, it was
Thank you.
Romeo and Juliet.
Really?
But I just hadn't heard it. And so I recorded it and I started watching it. And what the director did, the director and the producers did, and it had some actors that we knew in it. Damien, what's his name? The guy
I'm
from
looking it up
Homeland.
right now.
What they did is they set it where it was supposed to be set. 16th century.
Oh wow,
Italy.
This is a real deal.
Yeah.
This is a real deal.
But what they did, they have the setting and the costumes realistic, you know, no tights and no, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio is a gangbanger.
Nothing wrong with that.
But they changed the words. Now, the whole thing about Shakespeare...
How would you change the word?
They rewrote it. So you would have lines... Are you putting it up?
Yeah, put it up for some people.
The actors were decent, but I had to keep on zipping through it when I realized that they had the opening monologue, two households, both alike in dignity, blah, blah, blah. That was normal. But then they would change it, and when I say modernize it, I'm not talking about like, yo, what's up, where you can almost get away with that. It was like the writer didn't like what Shakespeare wrote, so he decided to say the same things but in different ways.
Yeah.
And with Shakespeare, the whole point of it is you can set it anywhere you want. Dystopian futures, the Old West, halls of Congress, you name it. You don't jack with the language.
Is that
That's
Paul
the whole
Giamatti?
point. Yeah, Paul Giamatti's in it. Like I said, Damien, I can't remember the actor's name. You know him if you saw him, but he was like the head guy in Homeland. Natasha, the former first lady on Designated Survivor and the girlfriend in Truman Show, she's in it. It had a decent cast, but I won't get like too involved with it. But one of the better lines that Shakespeare ever wrote was when Mercutio, who's kind of a guy who just doesn't care. He's like a honey badger. He just doesn't care. And some of the bad guys are walking towards him. Someone says, "Oh, by my hand, here come the Capulets." And he says, "By my heel, I care not." And it's very nicely. It's a perfect. Well, they changed it to, "Oh, look, Capulets are coming. I don't care." You don't change that. Or what do I care?
Strange.
Yeah, so it was.
How many close-up scenes do you think they did while they're holding each other like this? It's like, let me say my lines to you.
Well, obviously the director and the producer wanted. I guess they thought it would open it up to new audiences, but that just alienated everybody because if
The longest trailer. Jeez.
well, it was the longest movie too.
Yeah, it's not that complicated, guys.
So yeah, that's what takes me off. Set Shakespeare
So what we
however
could
you
do
want.
to have fun today, we could set it to today's standards, and Trump is in love with Elizabeth Warren, and they can't be together because they're so different.
The Pelosi be Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, Pelosi.
Trump and
man,
Pelosi.
wouldn't that be a great makeout scene?
Right, and I guess
Everyone would
Mike
watch
Pence
that.
would be. Would Pence be Benvolio or would Pence be? And AOC, she would be Tybalt. She'd be the one that tries to take on
I like it.
Trump. Yeah, I would go.
See, I got the air gone, so I can feel the air now.
I think it's because our door's open.
No. Who cares?
I'm feeling something. Yay!
By
So
the
we
heel.
won't stifle out our guests. Keith
Right?
and
By the
Angela.
heel?
By my hand, here come the Capulets.
Oh, by my-
by my heel, I care not.
Okay. I'm going to work that in somehow.
Yeah. By my heel, I care not.
I like it.
Dude, I will give you the cash in my pocket if you can work that into a sentence. Like,
I'm gonna do the best I can, man.
Oh, cool.
You know what I saw?
I'm gonna learn you good.
You know what I saw this weekend? I
What-
saw Shazam.
Okay, talk now because
Yeah.
I already gave the mea culpa that I
Yeah,
poo-pooed on it.
You're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Now, are you familiar with?
The Shazam family?
Yeah, well,
that?
yeah, they got the family, but I mean, in the comic book, I knew that Billy Batson transformed into Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, but I thought that it was almost like Donald Blake and Thor.
Yeah,
where,
he became another person, so it wasn't a 14-year-old boy in a body.
Okay, so they changed it for the movie
Yeah, I think what they did was
because he's also 10 in the comic books.
yeah, they definitely they kept him the same conscience in the Superman form, and
Well, that adds to comedy, and that's one of the things that was throwing me off because I thought,
one thing
Shazam
I thought
actually
they
takes
did
over.
really well is they take the same old tropes or whatever you call it into
Tropes and cliches, yeah.
tropes and cliches into superhero movies, and they added its own depth to it in the sense of like you really got who each character was, you got who the family and the foster family was.
Okay, so
And
they are going to expand on the
So-
Marvel family.
Well, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody,
Okay.
but it was more of like you started understanding what was happening with the characters. This isn't like, oh, I lost my dad, boo hoo, and then like I don't have parents. Now I'm just a superhero. It wasn't like that at all, and that's one thing I liked because it brought a theme to most movies they don't show today, where it's like you can't have loss, but you are also on your own to find your own place in the world. And so that was kind of, you watch Billy, and that's what he's trying to find. Like the whole movie, he's trying to find his mom because he thinks his mom lost him. And so that's part of like what, and you know how they go, only way you can be Shazam if you're pure of heart. Well, the guy who's passing on the powers was like in dire situations. Like, I need to get this to somebody because evil's out in the world and I'm dying. So Billy wasn't really supposed to be it, but he figures out you don't need to be pure of heart. You can find yourself to be pure of heart, kind of thing.
Nice.
Does that make sense? Like
It
you're not
does.
destined to have a pure heart.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I poo-pooed it when I first.
Well, there was some definitely fifth grade jokes in it that I found really funny. Like I found myself laughing, the only one in the theater laughing because it was like fart jokes and stuff like that. So I definitely dug it, and I would check it out.
Okay,
It was fun.
already.
I would go into it
I'm
with a
man
fun
enough to do that.
attitude, not like, oh, they got the color shade red wrong. I can't believe these bastards did this.
But well, I can shift my derision because I derided when I first saw the marketing for Shazam with him blowing bubbles, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is Captain Marvel doing that. So, but reading the reviews and hearing you, I'm man enough to say, okay, I think that it goes deeper than that. But I will poo-poo the new Joker movie, and I can't believe everyone's just loving what they see in this trailer with Joaquin Phoenix.
What did you see?
I saw the
I
trailer.
saw Mother Boy Love, Mother Son Love. That's all I saw. I got
and
weirded out by it.
I may have ranted about this the other day off the air, and if I was on the air, I apologize for repeating myself. But it was yet another taking a bad guy, but making him bullied, and that forgives it. And Rob Zombie did that with Michael Myers.
Well, no, they did this in Shazam. They showed like an opportunity. He could have been a bad person, but he chose to be a good person.
But
so
no,
the Joker's going to choose to be a bad person.
The whole point with the Joker is what scares him is, and what scared us with Michael Myers in the first Halloween, he was an unstoppable killing force. And even in part two, the whole brother-sister thing with Laurie Strode, that was worked in later. The whole point is he was the
I can't believe you
boogeyman.
judge a book by its cover.
You can't judge a book by its cover, but you know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, it's going to cost me like $8
Yeah,
to
well,
go see it.
it's the willing parting of my money.
So,
So I got to be a detective the other
well, my
night.
favorite part of this whole Shazam thing,
Mm-hmm.
we saw it on Sunday, and that's when the tornado came. And we're sitting there in the theater, and I'm texting the general manager, Chris, because he really cares about what goes on in his theater. And I was like, hey, I just got a tornado warning. Did
What's
you
the safest place?
Yeah, I was
to
like,
be?
did you get that too? Because I can hear it outside. That's not the show. That's not the movie.
Wow, it was that close.
Oh, it was. Well, I mean, it was just loud. Like there was rain and wind, and what's funny is there's several scenes in the movie where it's like thundering and all this stuff. And I was like, it's really adding to the element here.
Well, you heard about, well, back in the 70s, they had this thing called surround sound where they put subwoofers under the seats in cinemas.
Oh wow, okay.
And there were 3 movies that used it. Earthquake with Lauren Green, Battlestar Galactica with Lauren Green, believe it or not. When they released the pilot cinematically, and a movie called Roller Coaster with
Did Lauren
George
Green
Segal.
have like a patent on these subwoofer seats or something?
Who knows? But apparently one time in Los Angeles, they're showing Earthquake, And during it, there was an actual earthquake that hit the cinema.
Oh, wow.
And people thought, wow, this is like the best stuff ever. It's like 4D come to life. I did like I've done the D-Box before. You know, the
Like
special
kind
seats.
of like does this little
Yeah, I
number-
saw the Star Wars episode 7, The Force Awakens. So I took my daughter to it. And it was so cool because not only did you have like every time a lightsaber would come on, the seat would, or you'd move around in the the X-wing fighters kind of stuff, but also if the camera was panning, like setting up an establishing shot, and it was like going through the trees, the seat would slowly follow that too. It was very, very the good version of Insidious. It was just very lightly done.
I remember
Nicely done.
when I was younger, we went as a family. I have 3 older brothers, and 2 of them are like a lot older than I am. I think one was 14 when I was born, and we went to Universal Studios. I think it was Universal, wherever that place is in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And they had my dad's deal was if you wanted to go on by yourself, you got to bring your brother with you. So like all the brothers had to be together. So they really wanted to go do the Alien show.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you ever heard of this show, but basically you sit in a seat and you're like around a circle and you see.
Oh
the
no!
thing in the
Okay, that
middle.
was at Disney World.
Yeah, whatever that was.
because I did it. I can't remember.
And
the
I
name
was
of it.
like, I think at the time I was like 11 or 10, and I never want to see ever an Aliens movie ever again.
Oh, dude, I
'cause
was
they
25.
Would, like, breathe on
Yeah.
you, and then the little
the warm water would fall on you from the blood.
and then like the face hugger, like they had a little tentacle below your feet, and I was like, oh my gosh, just get me out of here. Like my brother was like, don't you scream, don't you scream. I'm like, this is freaking me out, man.
Now there could be like two. This is actually like Alien, like
It was neat. It was
like
very,
Alien, but there's a version of it at Disney World. Same thing where you'd feel the painting on the back of your neck. On the video screen, some guy get ripped apart, and you see the blood start to fly, and then the lights would go out, and you feel the warm water hit you. It's supposed to be
It's
the blood.
gross. I hate Aliens.
That was so immersively wonderful. Scared the bejeebus out of me.
What was funny is later on, my brother bought me a face hugger plushie as a joke because I had like nightmares about the face huggers.
Oh no!
And he's like, "Hey, I got you this," and I was like, "Why would you get me this?" It's like a life-size plushie that actually can Velcro to your head.
Nice.
And I'm-
Well, they have the facehugger CPAP machines.
I'm so creepy.
If I ever, if my apnea ever gets out of control where I need a CPAP machine,
We're not putting that.
I'm
on me,
buying
man.
that.
We're not putting that on me.
Hi, honey.
That's great. But yeah, you should check out Shazam. I think everyone should because it was
Okay.
a lot of fun. And one of my favorite things they did was Mr. Mind came in. This isn't really a spoiler, but it was Mr. Mind, the caterpillar, Mr. Mind. Mm-hmm. It's a huge like when he came in at the end, I was like, are people really gonna believe a caterpillar that talks is like the master villain of this kind of stuff? Like, I wonder.
That's
Because the most average moviegoer is like, why the hell is this caterpillar talking?
okay. Now, here's the $64,000 question: how this is set up? Can you, without
Oh,
a lot of fuss, put
I don't want to
Shazam
ruin it. I
or
don't
Captain
wanna-
Marvel into the Justice League universe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Superman's in this movie. And it's really, I didn't ruin it for you because it's really funny.
Wow, I'm staggered.
So they mentioned Batman several times.
Well, I see him throw a Batman doll, so I know it's the same universe. But what I guess I'm saying is the flavor of the movie isn't so filled with comedy that you can't.
No, there's some dark stuff in it. There's several scenes that like people are dying.
Okay,
And
because Superman, I mean, there were actually lawsuits in the history of Captain Marvel, not only between Marvel Comics because of their Captain Marvel, which
Yeah.
is why they had to change it to Shazam, but also
they just didn't have good enough lawyers.
DC sued the original Wiz Comics, which ran Shazam, because they said he's too much like Superman
yeah.
because he had the same powers.
Well, that's one thing I didn't really fully understood where they were going with the powers because they kept referencing that he's learning it. So part of the villain's plan.
It's not greatest
Well-
American hero.
Well,
is
no,
it?
part of the villain's plan was like, you need to go stop this kid, or that he didn't know he was a kid. He's like, you need to go stop him before he learns his true potential, because that's the only way we're gonna. Because the seven deadly sins are.
like Luke trying to kill Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
You just kill him before he figures out what he's gonna do.
smart move.
Yeah.
That's how I do with my firstborn, isn't it? He's going to be better. Why is it always the firstborn?
Well, see, the firstborn you just want to wrap in bubble wrap. by the
Yeah.
third or fourth kid.
But
It's
I'm
like,
talking
juggle
about
knives, I
in
don't care.
stories. In stories, like it's always like there's always like a master villain who's like, I'm gonna kill, like kind of like Batman Returns. That was the Penguin's ultimate plan, was to kill the firstborn. I'm like, why stop at the firstborn?
Well, that was the whole God thing, the whole Passover thing. King Herod.
But Penguin wanted to do it because he wanted to take away from the families what he was taking away.
Right.
From. But why
Well-
just the firstborn?
It's a biblical thing.
So he was trying to make it. Didn't make it like a biblical thing though in the movie.
Well, they were trying to be subtle, but it was like when Herod was trying to track down Jesus. You know, like okay, fine, let's kill all the firstborn males, and then we ought to take care of that. So and then you have Passover. God's gonna, unless you put the mark on the door, God was gonna wipe out the firstborn of each family. Because
It's an
remember,
age-old story.
tale is old as time.
Yeah.
Song is old as
Are you
rhyme.
gonna write that into Happy Days?
What, tale is old as time?
No, firstborn scenario.
Well, they do
That
have
would definitely. What's the town they live in?
Wisconsin, Milwaukee.
So they live in a legitimate.
Yeah, they live
Okay. I
in
thought it
Milwaukee.
was
You even have
like
the street
some
address.
made-up name.
No, you even have the street address of their house,
Okay.
which we're actually going to put on the mailbox.
Okay.
But
So you're not going to add that into there?
add what?
I thought that's what the Unplanned movie was about. About the firstborn baby. Never mind. That was a bad joke.
But that's a surprise to a lot of. I'm not that surprised because the faith-based movies seem to get big audiences.
You know what's
surprised
strange?
the media.
What's strange is we're watching trailers for Shazam and like during Shazam, and there was this movie with some serious actors in it, and I go, "What kind of movie is this?" And it's a faith-based movie, and I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily like off-putting or anything. It was just kind of like, man, they got a lot of big actors like Topher. Let me look it up. real
Topher
quick.
Grace?
Topher Grace. Let me see. I mean, there was some. It was about some boy who fell into an ice pool. And then
Oh, he was
survived.
like dead, and his mom prayed, and
Yes,
he undied.
And he's undead. Well, that's why I told Holly, we're watching.
Quick, shoot him in the head.
No, we're watching the movie. I go, man, this is gonna be the craziest zombie flick ever. And then it turned out to be. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Because the tone was so set on like we have to pray, we have to do all these things. It's like, man, this is a really religious zombie movie, and
Okay,
it
so-
wasn't a zombie movie.
Speaking of movies, so a dear friend of mine, Samantha Walker, actress, she was in a movie, and we all some friends slept out to watch. It was at one of the cinemas. They had a preview of it, and it was called "The Leaves of the Tree,"
Okay.
and it was just a mind trip of a movie. Now, here's the thing: I loved it personally. It was low budget. The plot was incomprehensible from time to time. Basically, there's like this tree, like it's the one tree from which all life comes, and if you do something with it, you can live forever.
That's cool.
But the thing is, and she had a small role in it, one of the small but vital roles, and we cheered when she came on. But this movie had starred Eric Roberts, Julia Roberts' brother,
Yeah.
Armand Asante, and Sean Young. Now you know that
Those
90.
are all actors.
Yeah, they're actors.
They're real serious.
And you know that like 80-90% of the budget went to their salaries. So, but it gave it a legitimacy. Now, we were making fun of the movie at the end because it's really an acid trip at the end. You're trying to figure it out. And so we figured out, okay, it's called Leaves of the Tree. So apparently there's a tree and there are leaves on it. That's the movie. Jokes aside, it was a decent movie. It was, when I say faith-based, it was kind of alternate faith-based, like kind of Eastern religions more, like Africa, Mother Earth kind of thing. But it was better than it could have been. And a lot of these faith-based movies, in the old days, would just be some church would schlep out, $5,000 and slap something together. In fact, that's how Plan 9 from Outer Space was made. He got money from a Baptist church. In fact, all the cast and crew had to get baptized to get the money, and so
I like that.
and so
Gotta set some
it was
rules
gonna
up,
be,
guys.
So the original draft of it, I can't remember the name, but it was something from outer space, zombie killers from outer space, and it was supposed to be more faith based, and then bit by bit they kind of changed it over to where it was Plan 9.
You know what's crazy? Look at this. So this movie I was talking about, it's called Breakthrough. Guess who it's directed by?
Eric Roberts.
No,
Ju-
Roxanne Dawson. Do you know who Roxanne Dawson is?
B'Elanna Torres from
Yeah.
Voyager. It's amazing how
incredible.
many Star Trek actors actually got into big directing afterwards. Robert Duncan McNeil, Her.
Yeah, this person,
Jonathan
she's
Frakes.
directed some of the House of Cards episodes, The Americans, a lot of TV. And then, so.
Yeah, Voyager got out a lot of directors from their actors for some reason.
But yeah, when I was watching that trailer, I thought it was going to be a real strange zombie movie. It wasn't.
I just think, he's back to life. Quick, shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Because Holly was like,
He's talking great.
Holly's like, I
mutated.
wonder what this movie's all about. And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's a zombie film. But yeah, so folks, just basically to end this segment, go check out Shazam. Do it.
I will.
It's fun.
Well, it's 9:56. We should get ready for our awesome guest to be coming in.
Yeah, we got Keith from Branding Iron coming in and talking about Project Mentor. Find more information on our Facebook about it because we link some of the Facebook pages and all that kind of stuff. So stick around. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com. We'll be back.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Don't forget to download the Lone Star Community Radio app for your Google Play or Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM. That is Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Did you know that there are over 153 million orphans in the world today? The sad reality is 99% of those kids will likely never be adopted. Core Love is an organization right here in Conroe that takes care of orphan children in Haiti, Honduras, and India. We bring the love of Jesus by providing their 6 basic needs of clean water, proper food, healthcare, education, job skills, and a loving home. Visit corelove.org. That's CORELUV.org. Will you help defend the orphan?
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your questions. Get seen on TV, YouTube, and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Support your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
The morning dream, I felt the wind change. Too many times I'm on my way. Come on, sunshine, what can you show me? Where can you take me to make me understand?
All right, welcome back. Morning's to Lone Star. irlonestar.com. You just keep turning it. Just keep turning it all the way until you hear something.
Yes, you hear Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah, you hear music, right? Yeah, right.
What sorcery is this? Music appearing in my ears from nowhere.
All right, everyone's mic's on now. So now we're live on the air, folks.
Just watch our language.
Yeah. Come on, guys. You're listening to Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com. We have some folks talking about Project Mentor in the studio. If you're a big fan of theirs, you probably knew they were on Afternoons Lone Star at some point because there's a cool thing happening this Friday, right? We're going to learn more about that. And to my right over here, I'm going to point right here. You can see him on our screen. Is Keith from the Branding Iron, which is next door to us. We're neighbors. So Keith, man, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. And thank you for having us.
Yeah. So I want we y'all been on before to talk about Project Mentor, and there's great opportunities for folks who want to volunteer their time and mentor a student at Conroe ISD. And you can kind of touch a little bit about that. Is there a grade length, or is it?
Well, Angela Matthew, who runs the program, is here with us, and she knows more details about where it starts and all that kind of stuff. So I probably hand it over to her to kind of tell you the details of that. I currently mentor a student in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And but no, it goes for what is it, Angela?
5th grade through 12th grade. So we're at 7 schools in the Conroe feeder zone, and so mentors can start with kiddos in 5th grade all the way up through 12th, but preferably in the lower grades, and then they follow their kid all the way through graduation. So we have like 130 kids on the wait list. So yes.
So when you say mentor, is that like comparable to like a big brother kind of thing, or is it a scholastic mentor or a life mentor?
Yeah, it's similar to Big Brothers Big Sisters. They come and have lunch with the student once a week. So there's not the academic side is not what we push. We push building a relationship with the student. And certainly some kids will come in and have, questions for schoolwork or things like that. But mostly it's giving our students an adult that's consistent, that shows up each week, that they can trust and talk to.
Awesome. Now, with Keith and Angela here is Rachel. So you run the program with Angela?
I do.
Awesome. How'd you get into this gig?
Well, actually, okay, full disclosure, Angela and I are related. We're sisters-in-law, so we knew each other.
Thank you for using that properly instead of saying sister-in-laws.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And so I was, she recruited me to be a mentor quite a few years ago now. And so I was mentoring a kid while I worked a different job, and I left the job, and she said, hey, do you want to help me expand? And I said, sure, why not? So I came on the program about 4 years ago. I've been doing this.
And she was working in nonprofits, so she had lots of expertise in that area as well. So
Angela, did you start this program? Is it unique to CISD? Or?
It is, yes. I was teaching part-time, and a lady came and spoke to a group of people, and I just happened to be there, and she was talking about a similar type setup in Houston, where they were just at a high school, and she had like 70 people that came in and mentored kids during lunch. And so we kind of mirrored what they were doing, except our superintendent had a vision to start it much younger than high school. So that's what we did.
That's a good idea, because unfortunately sometimes by high school a lot of patterns are set, but if you get them younger. And what was the youngest age again? You said?
5th grade. We're actually seeing now that we wish we would have started even younger.
Well, do you think there might be a further expansion to get it down?
We would love that. We do have Lions Club and some other people that adopt certain schools, and we'll put mentors on those campuses at elementary, and then they feed into us, and we pick them up officially as part of the program.
And to be a mentor, I'm presuming there might be a couple of prerequisites, or
and not a lot, not as much as you would think. We have a training that they have to come to, and it kind of gives the ins and the outs and the details of the program and what our expectations are. And then they have to pass a background check for the school district. And Rachel and I are at every lunch, and we kind of do all the legwork, and we're there to talk to the mentors if they have any questions and kind of monitor what's going on before and after the lunches. So it's not a huge commitment leading up to becoming a mentor. They just come to our training, we'll answer the questions they have, and then pair them and kind of guide them each step of the way.
Awesome. Keith.
I want to know more of the outside of the period lunch. Can you spend with the kid? Did y'all talk about that? I was fixing some of the cameras, so sorry.
And again, we go over all that in the training, but at the beginning, before you really get to know your kid, we really encourage them to keep the contact only at lunch.
Yeah, okay.
As you're getting to know the student and their family, and they're getting to know you and kind of trust you.
Sense.
So in 5th and 6th grade, we really encourage just come to lunch, eat with them, and go on about your way.
So what happens if they don't want to hang out with you?
Well, they make the choice to be in the program.
Okay.
So
they're having a bad day. Are they informed that I'm going to come?
Yes.
Okay, good. It's like I just show up, like, I hang out with this guy.
They expect you the same day every week. So Keith comes every Friday. So his student knows that that's his lunch day. And so that way they know to expect it. They know they're not eating with their friends on that day. So it's their choice.
Okay.
There are times at the beginning where they're a a little quiet. And,
Oh, I
you know,
imagine.
they may not want
You
to
have no
talk to
idea
you a
who you
lot.
are. Stranger
But
danger, man.
Yeah.
I think after a while, you know, they see that you're actually going to keep coming back and keep showing up. And the fact that we bring really good, you know, fast food, that helps. It's a lot
so
better.
you're not
than-
beholden to the school cafeteria.
Right.
Ah, well, that explains that.
We bring them.
I'll
bring
win 'em
them
over
to-
with the
That's
Big
what I was going to
Mac.
ask, because everyone get pissed off because it's like, oh, he gets to eat the good food.
Yeah.
And
So
nothing wrong with
after
that.
a while, they see that you're coming back, and you start to build a rapport, and you know, they start to open up. You start to open up, and a relationship is formed.
Okay.
Now, Keith, how'd you get into this?
Angela recruited me. Yeah.
Well, she seems to be the epicenter of all things good
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. So yeah, one day she just said, "Hey, I got this thing going on at the school. Would you be interested in mentoring?" And I said, "Sure." And when I first started, I had a student that was in the 5th grade, and he's gone all the way through and graduated. And he works here in Conroe at Medivators, and we still get together. And still, even he works nights and stuff, so we don't get to do lunch as much. But we still get together. We still text. We still talk anytime any of us have something going on. And then I started over with another student, and so.
Oh, wow. So you're on second generation.
Yeah. So now I'm on my 3rd year with the same student. So.
And the first student he mentored now mentors a student.
Yes.
You get to keeps on giving.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You, what are the plans of taking this beyond? Have you worked on a plan to start hitting different districts or states?
We would love to expand. We do have some things that we're working on now. Eventually, I mean, we would love to go younger, and then we would love to just expand within our own district, because right now we're only in the Conroe feeder zone. So we've got Oak Ridge feeder, College Park, the Woodlands, Caney Creek, so many other schools right here in our area that we would love to impact probably before we, you know, went out even broader. But we've had the opportunity to impact some other districts who got wind of the effect that it's having. And so Montgomery and Cleveland and Willis have all started really the same exact program. They've come and watched, you know, what we do and watched the mentors, and then they've recruited from their own towns or communities. And so we're super proud of that. So it is expanding, just not under, you know, our supervision.
Cool. Well, tell us about what's going to be happening on Friday now.
Well, on Friday, we're going to host an event at Branding Iron. We're going to have several vendors set up. We're going to do shopping. We've made a specific T-shirt just to show off Project Mentor. And all the proceeds from those T-shirt sales are going to go directly to Project Mentor to help them raise money to do some of the things that we're talking about, expanding. A lot of these kids come from really rough situations. They don't have enough money to provide Christmas presents, things like that. So what they do is they try to keep a fund so that they can help out when these situations arrive, like when a kid doesn't have Christmas presents or doesn't have a birthday present or can't pay to be on the dancing dolls, things like that. And so we're trying to help them raise money so that they can keep the program running and expanding.
And what are the hours that it's going to happen? So Branding Iron, which is right next door to us, right here on Main Street in downtown Conroe.
It'll be Friday from 4 to 7 p.m.
Cool. So 3 hours to get your jiggy on with some T-shirts and other stuff.
Yep.
And you say there will be other vendors there too?
Yeah, we're going to have some other vendors. We're going to have Man Cave Toys. We're going to have
Sounds like Sharper Image.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, Jordan Loves James Jewelry will be here. And we're also going to have, we're going to be serving food, barbecue, and Sweet Texas Treasures will be open across the street. And so they're going to be getting involved, and we're just going to have a bunch of stuff going on.
How many kids, I want to go back in a second, how many kids are in this program? Roughly, ballpark.
Right now, we have about 180 matches. Wow. Yeah, that's across 7 campuses.
And what's your wish list? How many do you want to have?
I mean, we want to cover the whole district, so as many kids as we can cover. Cool. Right now, in the Conroe feeder, which is where we're at, we have about 130 on our waiting list.
So you need grown-ups to manage
cover
these kids
those
who are
kids.
waiting. So grown-up, he or she's interested. What do they got to do?
They can reach out to Angela and I. We want to give out an email address, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I did last time.
Sooner or later, they're going to have to email you.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Mine is rgentry, RGENTRY, at conroeisd.net.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can find both of us on Facebook. Project Mentors on Facebook.
Yeah,
Branding Irons on Facebook.
I linked the Branding Iron and also the CISD Project Mentor.
Yeah,
link
do it too for
folks.
it. Come in a Branding Iron, buy some stuff, hit up Keith.
Well, you can send me a message, and I'll get you in contact with the right people too if you want a mentor. So.
And even if you just want to come and get a card or a brochure at the fundraiser, just if anyone's interested and they're going to be in the area on Friday and want to stop by and just inquire, we'll be there to answer any questions or give them a card or anything like that to plug them in as well.
Cool. Now, I know you didn't ask for any advice, but just let you know, you may want to let it hang over to about 7:30 because at 8 o'clock at the Crichton right there is going to be Diary of Anne Frank opening. So you're going to get a lot of extra
is it the
people.
grand opening?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So just, let your clocks go a little bit past 7. You
Okay.
can get some extra people.
Yeah, that's
because they're
a good
already going to
idea.
feel guilty. Anne Frank. They're going to be in that mindset, very malleable emotionally. You could just bleed them dry if you wanted to.
That's a good idea.
That's how I roll.
We like to make people feel guilty.
Yeah.
We'll guilt you into volunteering.
We might want to
Okay.
stay till after the show. Then their pockets might really open up.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
great
really
idea,
be sad.
Keith.
Yeah.
I can already see the commercial for this, like the sad music. Like
Yeah, you need
what
Sally
was it?
Struthers
Is it
doing the
Alison
voiceover?
Morissette or whatever. It's like
Well, now it's
in the
Sarah
arms of an
McLachlan.
angel.
Now
That-
it used to be Sally
The pet
Struthers
adoption.
from All in the Family. Please save these people. Yeah. Well, okay. See, stick with us. We're gonna kind of tweak this a bit, and your Friday's gonna be this raging
What is
success.
the length of like say I wanted to sponsor, however y'all want to word it, pair up with a child or a student? How long is it? The school year, and then
Yeah, it's just really, we usually don't start till after Labor Day, the week after Labor Day. So right at the beginning of September, and we finish the first week of May.
Okay.
So it's about 30 times a year out of the
Okay.
52 weeks. We're off for Thanksgiving and Christmas in the summer and those types of things. So it is a big commitment, but if you kind of look at it just week at the time, it's a little easier to swallow.
okay. And now, do you like with Keith? You've been involved for a while. Do the guys ever get together at lunch and like sit together, or is it always like one-on-one? That's the whole that's the point, is a one-on-one conversation with the student and just kind of be present.
It's typically one-on-one.
Okay.
And so we do have games and stuff. Sometimes we'll play checkers, Connect Four, things like that. But you're mostly just talking, seeing how their week went, and a lot of times they're checking to see how your week went, and just going through things. I mean, a lot of these kids have no one to bounce anything off of.
Yeah.
And
That's what I was thinking about, because it's
yeah.
more of how do you just keep something consistent is very important.
Yeah. And I mean, they have a million questions from, just how do I do my homework to, what do I do because this guy wants to fight me,
Oh, you teach them how to fight?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What
no.
about the girl situation?
For protection.
Or like, oh, I like this
He
person.
teaches
What do I do?
self-defense.
Yes, that stuff comes up, and you
push them down, right? You make fun of them, and you alienate them, right?
No, not at all.
Oh.
You just listen, man, and and then eventually, it's crazy because at first they don't really have any questions about your life, and then the next thing you know, they're asking you more questions than you're asking them, and you're like, wow, they're really starting to turn the corner. And
Well, someone might be listening is interested, and one thing I want folks to know is you're a father, so you kind of gone through the stages of somebody else's life and been there. So what would you say to somebody who, like me, I don't have a child? I shouldn't be afraid to do this.
no, you should not, because you have relationships in your life, and that's all that it takes.
Yeah.
And you've also been a teenager.
Yeah.
You've been a 5th grade
Yeah.
boy, a 6th grade boy. And even with my own son, I was trying to talk to him about something. He wouldn't listen. And so my brother talked to him. And when he got in the car with me, he said, Mom, Uncle Scott understands way better than you do. And I was like, yeah, I've never been an
Well, it's also
11-year-old boy before.
It's the parental shield as well.
Sure. So you're sharing your experiences, whether you're a parent or not, what it's like to have been a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grader. And really the power of listening is a lot stronger than you think. They don't really want you to fix anything. They just want you to listen.
So come on down to the Branding Iron on Friday. And what are the times?
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
So buy
And-
some stuff for a good cause. Also ask questions about it.
Yeah.
It seems like you want to get in on this gig. All you have to do is give up one lunchtime a week to begin with. That's it. And
Yeah.
then you can grow with that. So it's not that big it's not going to take away
That's
from your
cool.
life.
Yeah,
And
their
on
lunch.
the on the Facebook page, you can pre-order the shirts also.
Okay.
So they're up and ready to go. If
Yeah, I
you
don't
wanna
think
go
people
on.
know this, but y'all make some really unique clothing items for Conroe, Montgomery County, and things like that.
Yes, we
it's
do.
it's pretty incredible because I go in there every time there's something new.
Well, we
Like,
try
"Oh,
to
it's
keep
kinda
it fresh.
cool." See, I'm not even fashionable. I'm like, I kind of want to wear more than one hat. because I see how cool your hats are. I've always been like a one hat kind of guy, and I'm like, why would I ever want to have more than one hat? But now you want me to wear more than one hat.
Yeah, you got to have one to go with every outfit.
Same thing with shirts. I wear one shirt, but now I want to wear. No, I was kidding.
He's not lying.
But yeah, so it's Branding Iron, and folks, if you don't know where that is, it's right next door to the studio in downtown Conroe. I'm 208. You're
210.
210.
Yep.
Okay, so there you go. That's easy peasy.
Yeah, come knock on our door, say hi. It'll be Friday afternoon. You can hang out with Rick, the Reluctant Cowboy. And afternoons with Lone Star.
Yeah, all right. Well, is there anything else we missed?
I don't think so.
Project Mentor. Check it out. CISD Project Mentor on Facebook. All the information if you're interested in participating. It's not hard to contact one of these guys. And yeah, you guys make it really easy for everybody. It sounds like.
Trying to.
So, what's your favorite dish to bring? Or does he have a preference?
Usually I'm running around
Is it
crazy.
boy, or is it girl, or is it can
it's
it
gender
be?
to gender.
Okay.
So Chicken Express is really close to the junior high, so that's usually the one I pick because I'm usually running late.
Oh, great. What a great example.
Yeah, I'm a really, really great example. No, but he also likes it a lot, so it works out. No, if
Great.
you request
I hate the
something,
movie.
I'll
Oh,
get it.
great. Thanks, Keith. Chicken again.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm vegan. What the heck?
We should get a kickback from all these fast food
Agreed.
restaurants, though, because I mean,
Well, the first
support
person I
them.
talked to is Chick-fil-A. They're easy because you just go and make some heart pulling story and like, okay, yeah,
that's
here
a
you
good
go.
idea.
True.
Because I always question them and like how much it really costs them to make that food. Because I'm like, if you're giving it away all the time, you know it doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with their meat.
It pays
They're
for
banking, for
itself
sure.
in love.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having
and
us.
talking
you very
about this.
much
This is
for having
this is an important thing, folks. So if you want to volunteer and spend your time helping a student here in Conroe ISD, CISD Project Mentor, really not hard to get involved.
Yep.
And don't forget their fundraising event on Friday from 4 to 7. And you're going to have, is there food?
Yes, there's going to be barbecue.
Barbecue, and there's going to be stores. And you guys, you need to check out their store at Branding Iron. I think every time my dad goes in there, he gets something. I'm
He
convinced.
did. He just bought a really sweet filet knife.
Yeah, well, he goes, oh, this will be my letter opener. I'm like, Dad, that's a fillet knife. And he's like,
fillet your
well,
finger doing that.
and then I had to ask him, like, who do you open your mail in front of? Because you're trying to, like, you're basically,
Wow.
you know.
That is the greatest letter opener ever, for sure.
Guys, thanks you so much for coming in. We're going to be taking a break here on Mornings of Lone Star. Again, that's CISD Project Mentor. We're going to be right back here on Mornings with Lone Star.
I heard the morning dream. I felt the wind change.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Is there someone you know who is hooked on vintage aircraft? Follow the Commemorative Air Force and its fleet of World War II planes, including the mighty B-17 Flying Fortress Texas Raiders, which is based in Conroe, Texas. Texas Raiders tours locally and all around the United States, offering the public a chance to put their hands on aviation history. What could be a more perfect gift than a flight on a historic B-17? Taking to the sky on the iconic bomber is an experience that will never be forgotten. For the touring schedule, reservations, or more information, go to b17texasraiders.org or call 855-FLY-A-B-17.
Are you one of those who feel that life is too short to drink bad coffee? Then come to Bean Pong Coffee. Bean Pong Coffee is open with 2 locations. Whether you're in downtown Conroe or historic Montgomery, we have the best fresh brewed and specialty coffee, delicious pastries, and courteous staff. Come visit us at 330 North Main Street in Conroe or 401 College Street, Suite 170 in Montgomery. Visit beanpongcoffee.com to see our complete list of special events.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Come on, sunshine, what can you show me? Where can you take me to make me understand? The wind can shake me, brothers forsake me.
Hey, welcome back. Morning's Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. 72 degrees and sunny downtown Conroe. Going to get up to 89. Tomorrow may actually broke 90. And then on Sunday, it's going to be 70. So, and on Tuesday, 80. Welcome to Texas. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, sun shining all day, moon shining all night. Only a 1% chance of rain. There you go. But maybe some more on the weekend. But we had some storms like ripping through.
Yeah. Hope everyone's safe.
There's a
Did you
storm
see that the Walden Golf Course got knocked up?
I think the Walton Cafe.
Yeah.
Got
I thought it was a
nailed.
country club or something like that.
Yeah, well, Cafe on the Green.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the
You
course.
think that person had that 10-second slow motion feeling and like, there's a tree. That tree's coming towards me.
No, I'm thinking the guys out on the the hardcore golfers. They're like the ball gets sucked up into an F5 or tornado and like mulligan, diving in after it.
Oh man, some people are really serious about golf.
They are.
That's fun.
They are indeed.
Well, we want to say a special thanks to those from Project Mentor here at Conroe ISD. If you missed them, don't forget on YouTube and Facebook, you can rewind and watch that interview, or you can check it out on our podcast and archive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
irlonestar.com/MWLS.
Thanks to Keith and Angela and Rachel, and we gave them some good ideas on how to guilt some local restaurants and fast food joints. To
I want to
add to this.
add to the list of things that always happen at the Waffle House.
Oh, what happened to the Waffle
So
House
a Good
now?
Samaritan was handing out $20 bills, and he was shot to death.
For the money? For like...
I think so.
Oh, man. Where
So,
was this? Do you know?
This was international headline.
Well,
so
I don't
let
think there's the
me-
International Waffle House. You have
Well,
International House of Pancakes.
That's right. Oh, man. It was over in Gainesville, Florida.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
That sucks. I hate it when...
25-year-old Ezekiel Hicks was arrested and on murder charges early Sunday in the death of 41-year-old Craig Brewer. So, yeah. I don't really know. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it turns up because maybe there was something going on. There's always something going on at the Waffle House.
Mhm.
Always.
So here's something we can talk about, because I know we were going to talk about some movie stuff, but something that kind of crossed my mind. I don't want to give any names because, well, you'll probably know who I'm talking about if you keep up with local news. But we're just going to speak pretty much hypothetically here. So, Dick, you're at the Montgomery County Fair. And
I'm there.
You have a few too many. Okay?
Okay.
To
I've been
drink.
there before.
Okay.
Okay.
And you call Uber, you're waiting for it, Uber goes to the wrong gate, but anyhow, it catches up with you and you pretty much fall asleep hard, aka maybe even pass out.
Okay.
And Popo finds you and they try to wake you up.
I'm in a
and
field. Where am I?
You're at the fair.
Okay, somewhere I'm
Somewhere at
lost.
the fair, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Popo comes, and this is where it gets cloudy, but long story short, you're arrested
Okay.
for public intoxication.
Okay.
They wake you up. Not that you're fighting anyone, but they wake you up to
Okay.
arrest you. And you're an elected official.
Oh, that happened?
Mm-hmm.
This happened?
Yes. So I don't want to give any names.
Ooh, where? I want to look it up.
But I was talking with Mrs. Skippy about this because I have some very strong opinions. Now, I'm not a fan of drunk driving at all, but I got a problem with the legality, and I'd love to get one of our lawyer friends in here to talk about this, the current legality of what public intoxication is. Because I think darn near anyone on the planet who drinks or who has drunk has been drunk standing outside, maybe not even knowing I'm too drunk to drive, so they're waiting for someone to pick them up, or they even fall asleep in their car. Now, here's the thing. Apparently, legally, if you're drunk, you fall asleep in your car, right?
Yeah.
Cop comes knocking on the window. You roll the window down. He asks you to step out of the car. The second you have a foot out of the car, it's public intoxication.
Well, I feel like I found the story, and I feel reading a little bit about it. I wonder if there was a call made, because during the cook-off, there's a lot of people staying the night. So I'm wondering.
I have some inside track on this. That there's going to be a statement released, but yeah, there was a lot of miscommunication about, because this person was being looked for by others, and this person's phone had like a ton of missed calls on it, and so you think that the cops seeing this could have just hit *69 or whatever, redial or whatever the thing is nowadays. But just the simple fact that, let's say I'm in a bar and I have too much to drink and I call Uber and I step outside to the Uber. If I step outside, that step between the front door of the bar and the car, that
I
is
always thought
legally public intoxication.
Public intoxication always kind of occurred when you were causing a ruckus.
That's my deal with this, that this is truly a victimless. This was like.
And if you're telling me that you found me and I was causing issues, I get it. But if I wasn't causing issues, but it's more of like we're legally not allowed to take him in to make sure he's okay unless we actually arrest you. Does that make sense? Like, we can't just offer you a ride home.
But you can.
I know, but I'm trying to I mean, the only thing I can see is
if this person was belligerent or anything, or even accidentally threw up on a cop's shoes, I would get it. But now,
well, that hasn't been released yet. The information, maybe he found him. You don't know.
So
Juicy.
Those listening in, and again, I guess it doesn't matter who it was. If you know who it was, you know who
well, it's
I'm
kind
talking
of obvious. Go to Conroe News or
you
whatever.
can, but this goes beyond just that. I'm talking about public intoxication in general.
Oh. Well, I mean, I think there's a lot of things that happen in aftermath where people don't really understand what to interpret, because we'll use words like public intoxication, but if you read the report, they found him in one of the buildings where he could have been part of the cook-off or part of the Montgomery County Fair team, and he just goes, you know what? I'm going to go to sleep because I shouldn't be driving or shouldn't be doing this stuff. So
yeah, to be responsible enough to say, I'm not going to get, and Uber had been called, but it was at the wrong gate.
So
yeah, I'm privy to some information that will get out there. It's not like it's a secret, but stuff will get out. But just, again, in general, public intoxication, just that. The law states that just me leaving a bar drunk and walking to a taxi, I could be arrested at that moment for public intoxication, having done nothing.
I mean, I could live down the street from here and just walk and get pulled over. Or like, why are you walking? What are you doing?
Well, here's one of those there, but for the grace of God, go I things. Because when I was young and living on my own, I was probably 20 years old, I think, and was dating someone. We're seeing someone, and she was down with pneumonia, and I lived in.
Is that code word for something?
No, she was down with pneumonia.
I don't know.
And I was in university, so I was like 19 or 20 years old, and so that was in like near downtown Houston, the Montrose area, and this lady lived in the Bel Air area, and I got it in my mind one night that she needed a get well card, so I had some art supplies, and I made this big poster, kind of like "Get Well Soon."
Okay.
And I was going to stick it on her
Is
front
this
yard
Love Actually?
because I was drinking, and that's the thing. It was a great idea at the time. So about midnight, I'm not gonna. Either I didn't have a car, or it's like there's no way I'm gonna get behind the wheel. So I started walking to Bel Air from Montrose area. It was many miles. Well, as I'm walking, I'm in the Bel Air area. I'm walking down Bissonnette. A Bel Air cop kind of stops and, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I figured, I'd probably halfway sobered up at that point, but I'd been pretty tanked when I was doing this. So I'm saying, well, I have a friend who's sick, lady friend, and here's my sign. And he let me go. But I'm thinking, on reflection, I could have been hauled in on public intoxication.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a permanent stain on my record right there, because I was an adult. And that was back when the drinking age was 19, by the way. So when I'm saying I was 19 or 20, I was still legally, I don't want to say legally drunk, but, I hadn't illegally drunk alcohol.
But see, also,
and that's just something that staggers me, that could have ruined me.
He's a public figure, and so now it's going to be clickbait, and then I want to know
and
the
that's
real
why I'm
story.
taking it beyond,
I want to know the real story.
But I'm taking it beyond public figure. It's like, this is the kind of thing that throws, because how many people were drunk to the point of passing out at the Montgomery County Fair all week long.
Oh, everybody.
Right.
Even if you walked in,
How many arrests had happened?
I don't know.
According to this, only the one. I also think that every car needs to be outfitted with a breathalyzer. If you want to start your car, blowing it. You don't have a constitutional right to drive. There's no government intrusion. If the government said you have to have, passed a bill to the auto industry saying you have to have this safety feature, because we got safety features, the third brake light, lane control, automatic braking, all these things. Put something in, because 98% of the people getting behind the wheel of a car drunk don't think they're drunk.
Yeah.
And if they're like, oh, I'm right on the edge, if you blow in it and it says you're too drunk to drive, then that person, you save lives. I don't know why this hasn't happened. I'm going to add it to my 2020 presidential platform. Yeah. But just in general, I think this needs to be revisited because, if you're causing a ruckus, if there's a fight, if there's danger, if you're urinating on something or someone, absolutely. But I've got an issue with it. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I think it's funny that it happened to an official because we have one of our listeners, Jay, was saying if you're an elected official, don't put yourself in that position. Which, I mean, I think that's kind of like the mom, like, hey, mom, hey, Jay, dad, don't tell me what to do, okay? No,
you're not my real dad.
Well, I
Jay.
mean, that's like duh kind of thing. But then again, like
I do agree. I think elected officials have to have a higher standard, Jay, and others listening. But my stance is that this is the one we heard about because of who it was. That should anyone who falls asleep drunk, not causing any. I'm taking it beyond who it was.
Because it would be more than just public intoxication if it was an issue. Like, he would have been filed for trespassing because, like, oh, that's why he got the phone call from a police officer because they say, oh, this guy's wandering around this building and he's not supposed to be there. So there would be a lot more things about it if there was an actual malice to the situation, but there isn't.
Right. So, no, but I absolutely agree with Jay. When you're a public figure, you should be. So
do you think he was targeted?
I don't want to subscribe anything like that, especially
because I would say Montgomery County is still a small town.
Oh, it's a small town, but it's also
small town, like quotes.
Here's the thing: this was all. If this was targeting, if the person involved were a member of a different party, maybe, but everyone's on the same party on this one.
Everyone just wants to eat each other. So
and here's the thing: I'm not. The police did what was required by law. I'm not busting them. Whatsoever. I don't think anyone was targeted. I think it was just something that was one of those wacky situations. But it literally could have happened to anybody. And I think we're only talking. I know we're only talking about it because of who it happened to. And so we do have if you're a public official, do you maintain that higher standard? And of course you should. But there aren't two separate laws. There's not a law for public officials in this context. Meaning this could have been the person who ran against this person and lost being in the news. It could have been anybody. Yeah. And that's my take on it. Don't drink so much. That's
that's
the
probably
first thing
the
you should take away from it. The second thing is, be cautious about it. Bone up on public intoxication.
Well,
laws.
what's strange to me, and I guess it's just more information, because when you say public intoxication, does that mean they actually do a breathalyzer and all that kind of stuff?
Field sobriety test.
Or is it just because it's 2 a.m. and he was sleeping? Imagine waking somebody up at 2 a.m. and asleep.
In a situation like this, if it gets to trial, it'll be the cops, being questioned by the defense. How did you determine? How did you know this person was drunk? Well, with my years of experience, and I did a field
and
test.
They stank.
Yeah, I smelled alcohol in his breath and slurred speech and blurred eyes, and
because they said they found him in one of the buildings at 1:45 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more to this story.
Well, yeah, but even if there weren't, it's do we visit the public intoxication laws and at what level?
And I'm not trying to dog officers, peace officers and stuff like that.
Not at all.
One thing I've noticed, and I have several family members who are police officers, a lot of it is at their own discretion when it comes down to situations they're in. Like they make those split-second decisions when there's an emergency, and then there's also the routine kind of things, and it just depends on the situation. They get to choose what happens, and I think that's always kind of fun because there's stats with it now, like after 20 years, kind of like that don't ask to, or was it Frisk, the thing that New York Stop and Frisk kind of thing, and like I don't know what they do here, but basically my
Okay, we had
my
a former police chief that says if you're chasing a bad guy and he is faster than you, you can't speed to catch up with him. You got to let him go for public safety. That's where we are.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's that unique person's viewpoint. Like my family members who are officers, just basically, they just told me, he says, don't be outside past 10 p.m. Just don't do it. Like, it's just not worth it. Because no matter what, he's like, no matter what, the officer's going to always have in the back of their mind something's going on. Because why is this person
And
out
I'm not
past 10
second
p.m.?
guessing the police on this one at all. Do not get me wrong. I hate it when cops are second guessed.
No, I think he targeted him. He targeted him. He knew who he was. He got a phone call from some black ops kind of thing. It's like, there's this guy, there's a representative.
If this were more of
He's
an election
located
year,
in Building
I'd
C.
be all over that.
Building C.
He's in Building C. Go get
Yeah,
him.
we
Eagle has landed.
intercepted his Uber call. We got the Uber all confused, so he can't go home. We got him. That
So we
happened.
can talk
I believe
about
it.
the public official status of it, but if you want to add to this conversation, those listening in about PI charges in general, is it fair as it's set up? Because there's no way out of it.
Yeah.
There's literally public intoxication laws that are set up that if you get drunk in a bar, because they have no breathalyzers in there, they don't know what your limit is. So they can't, quote, be held accountable. And you have no idea how much you drunk. Let's say you don't know and there's nothing in the bar that lets you know what your blood alcohol content is. But you figure, okay, I'm ripped. Residential platform.
There you go.
But don't drink and drive, whatever you do.
Is calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
Like a candy lake, I saw the milkman, I saw the businessman, I saw the only road in sight.
Hey, welcome back. 10:42 on the dot here, Mornings with Lone Star. Having some great conversations on air, off air, and on the comments. And again, just to wrap the last topic up, I agree with Jay. Nothing was wrong with the process in this one. The law was followed. I mean, everyone. I don't think there's any underhanded, no agendas were being passed. It could have been anybody.
They should have waterboarded him.
I should have gitmoed his.
Who
butt.
are you? Where are we going?
Yeah,
that'd be intense.
But it does.
Can we waterboard people? Is that now like a bad thing?
Can you legally? I don't know if it still falls under enhanced interrogation or not.
What do you think the new interrogation system is going to be like? Do you think we're ever going to get to the point where we can like break your mind?
Well, here's the thing about the interrogation
like
system.
break
You know,
into it?
ISIS is gone now. It's gone.
No, it's not. I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's effectively it is gone. There is no more ISIS.
Who's telling you? Where'd the information come from?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not coming from a lot of media outlets. It's been ISIS, when I say, has been beyond decimated. Now, of course, there's always going to be your lone wolves and doing stuff like that. But it's like there will always be Nazis, even though we won World War II. There will always be idiots out there.
Well, no, they're pretty much going to die in like the next 10 years, aren't they?
With Nazis?
Yeah, like the originals.
Yeah, the originals.
The OGs.
The ONs, the original Nazis. Sounds like a
Because that's
bad
going to be a
band.
real crazy period. Because I know we're going to go through it is when the last person who served during World War II will be passed away.
Mhm.
That's going to be nuts.
We're getting near there.
Yeah.
Because my dad was a World War II vet.
Is World War I? Has that happened yet? Have we got to that point where who served? Not like they weren't
Yeah,
born.
I would think now because World War II was from 14 to 18,
Mhm.
which means if let's say
The youngest person enlisted was, say, 15.
well you could have
I'm talking about around the globe. Maybe not in the United States, but like
yeah you
I
could have
imagine
been
some countries
born
are
as
like
late as I would think to have served in the military.
something always about that firstborn. They just take them.
Is you could have born as early as 1890.
Because I remember reading that like in Germany there were 13, 14-year-old boys fighting and girls, like towards the end.
Mhm.
So that's like the youngest soldier.
Oh no! Okay, I'll put it like this. So to have been fighting in World War I, the latest you could have been born, I guess, would have been about 1903. If you come in at the very end of 1918 and you were 15 years old, then you were born 1903.
Okay.
Which means you'd have to be
Well,
116 years old now.
Yeah, they're dead.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much gone.
That's crazy. Because that to me is going to be scary because that means we're going to start forgetting.
Yeah,
And
especially if,
that's when
especially if
that's when
statues
things
keep
get
getting
bad.
torn down and textbooks keep on getting rewritten.
Yeah.
And I chose that on purpose because there are two opposing parties who tend to be behind that. It's the right that wants to rewrite a lot of the textbooks as well as the left, just different motivations, but the same results. And I have a big problem with that.
Well, that's always going to happen no matter where you live in this world. People are always going to be changing, and there's always that one group of like, oh, let's do something completely drastic. And
But here's the thing that separates America from most other nations. I mean, think about it. With the exception of Israel as a nation, we're pretty much the youngest at 200 and something years old.
Yeah.
That is stable, and especially a superpower. So you have England, you have Spain, Portugal, France, the Ottoman Empire, Russia. You have thousands of years of dynasties to look back on. So you had your good times, your bad times. We crunched all of those into less than 260 years. That, we had our Civil War. We had our slavery and lack thereof. We had our civil rights movement. Forefront of it. We did literally
So what's
10% of the
next?
time of most other nations. We've done the same thing, if not more, because we are a superpower as a result. Which is one of the reasons why I'm Mr. Raw America, because Raw R-A-H, rah, because this is truly the land where opportunity abounds for darn near everybody.
Yeah.
Or there are opportunities for people that they don't get elsewhere. Rights you get here that you don't get elsewhere. We have a Bill of Rights. Very few other people do. But we're already forgetting our history from 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago. Ask anyone in high school right now about the Korean War.
Can you ask me that? I don't really know.
Right. Yeah, but you don't even have MASH to fall back on to put it in some kind of context. Did we win or lose? Talk to us about Vietnam. How did World War I lead to World War II? How did Korea lead to Vietnam? These aren't being asked. We're learning Common Core math instead and standardized testing. Well, that's a huge honking problem to me. Big problem. Yep.
Yeah, I'm convinced that whenever I have an ability to go back to school, I'd go back to third grade and start from there. I think I could do all right now. I think I understand things.
I couldn't go back to school because they're teaching Common Core now, and the new way to add up. How do you add?
you gotta try something new, man.
How do you multiply
You gotta try
16
something
by
new.
12? Well, it depends if 12 feels like being 12 that day. I've seen these videos of how to, the side by side of.
Yeah, everyone's seen those propaganda
Because remember,
films.
math had been changed when I was in school too. It became the new math, and even that was different. So I'm not opposed to changing if you find better ways, but I can't find a
One
reason.
thing I
for
kind
Common
of
Core.
question the Common Core deal is, clearly there's savants in the world, and they understand, they comprehend information at a lightning speed compared to the average person. So when it comes to math, you always have those people like, in second and third grade who can do the multiplication table in their head.
Mhm.
And then the next step is do division, and then, so on. Like, what can you do in your head? Keep challenging your brain to figure that out.
Mhm.
And I always notice they just do patterns. It's like, oh, I just take this and I start this pattern and I have this equation. And I take.
I remember learning my when I was a kid, learning my
And-
9 times tables. The first digit would go up one, the second one would go
And
down one.
So in Common Core, do you think they're eventually going to weed out the stupid people? And that's the whole point of it? And it's like, oh, now we got smarter kids.
No, because Common Core caters to the lowest common denominator. It doesn't push you.
Oh, so I don't know anything.
It goes the other way. It's we're gonna group these numbers together. I've tried to wrap myself around it, and it's like when there's nothing wrong with the current system, why introduce this new one? Now, if I'm wrong, if someone is pro Common Core, debate me on this. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, there's nothing wrong with trying something different.
True, but this is to revamp the entire process in a way that just, when I say makes no sense, is there's nothing wrong with, for decades, if not centuries, how we did add numbers. And now it's more of I can't wrap myself around
I don't know.
it.
See, I don't believe it though. I don't. What you say about Common Core, I don't know, because you can't just say, oh, based off some Facebook video someone shared.
No, seriously,
I mean,
watch. Just type
and I don't have any
traditional
teacher
math
friends,
versus
so-
Common Core, and it'll be a side by side of the same equation and how you get to the answer.
That's one equation. That's not.
But it's pretty much the benchmark of you can tell the mindset from an equation of multiply 14 by 12.
We'll
There's
see.
a way to do it.
We'll see.
Okay.
I don't really believe you though.
No. This is one of the few things I wouldn't lie about.
Well, you're talking about a video you saw on Facebook. So
Well, no, I've seen more than one, but
I don't know, Sean.
That's a
I don't know, Sean.
good
Facebook.
example.
Facebook.
If it's on the internet, it's not a lie.
That's true.
That's what Abraham Lincoln
Yeah.
told us.
That's scary. I like it. But, we got to be closing out today's show, folks. So we
Alrighty.
want to say a special thanks to our guests today at Project Mentor over at Conroe ISD. If you have more information, if you want more information about this Friday's fundraiser that's happening next door at the Branding Iron, check out Branding Iron's Facebook, Instagram. They're really involved with their social media. Or put a link to the Facebook for Project Mentor, the barbecue, and things are going to be for sale, and proceeds go to Project Mentor.
Right. And let's blow kisses to our partners. We got Bean Punk Coffee with locations in historic downtown Conroe and Montgomery. C3 Creative Content Creations. Go to c3memories.com. And Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Clean your office, clean your life.
Yeah, and we have several guests coming up tomorrow, so we will be here Wednesday and Thursday, folks. So mark your calendars, and we're going to be posting that stuff here very shortly. Tomorrow, for example, we're going to have Team Abilities of the Woodlands coming in. They serve special needs adults through dehabilitation and group home care. So they're involved in this community. That's Team Abilities. That'll be tomorrow's guest. If you want to be a guest, just reach out to us. We would love to have you on, and we'd love to do whatever we want to do. So that's the beauty of Mornings at Lone Star. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be saying goodbye here on irlonestar.com/MWLS. We'll see you guys later.
Then I saw the sunrise above a cotton sky.
Thanks for checking out this show on Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. This show is owned and produced by Lone Star Community Radio and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. For more information about the show, to be a guest, or to sponsor, just contact the studio at 936-647-3776 to leave a message, or email us at lscrstudios@gmail.com.